what she said to you right now. She just called you a bitch. That little Dickie.
Hi.
He's a rapper, he's a comedian. Oh, are we live?
Oh,
yep.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Pardon me, guys. Hi, and welcome to Dr. It's okay. We can time travel and fix it all. Hello, and welcome to, live from Gallifrey.
We weren't just having a conversation about libraries.
No.
Or library cards. Or
something
cool
much
swing.
more exciting.
Lifetime one.
Clearly.
Yeah, no. None of those conversations happened. What conversation did happen was about Doctor Who.
Yeah,
so, every week, as long as the show's on, you will see our three lovely faces, and we'll be talking about Doctor Who. We get into an in-depth conversation.
Of course, next week will be gone.
Well, yeah, just next week. Because she's gonna have to leave.
What am I
get
gonna do
off of
without
the
you?
show.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
I'll be at Ren Fair. I'll be thinking of you guys.
I'm ready for this kind of commitment. Sorry.
She'll be traveling, you know. She'll jump in her own TARDIS and go
Time
somewhere.
travel weekend. It's cool.
Boom. See, it still works out. It's fine. But every week, that's what we do. We talk about Doctor Who. We'll bring you in-depth conversation concerning the show. Also, you can always check out an article that happens a little bit after, written by yours truly.
I wrote one last week. It was fun.
It was really good. It's in-depth concerning the show, giving us a lot of information concerning it. So if there are things that maybe you did notice, maybe you didn't notice, and you noticed that, hey, they didn't get to talk about on the show, it will be seen in that article.
I mean, I did mention last week we talked a little bit about the nature of like what constitutes life, but my article is mainly about the nature of existence and its connection with memory and agency in the episode.
Did I miss an assignment?
No.
No, I am just a giant nerd.
Well, welcome. I mean, where are we right now? So, I think it's fine.
Live from
Hashtag
Gallifrey.
team good enough.
In fact, I will go ahead and cede the introduction time to the individuals themselves. So this way I could say at the end, I'm Daniel. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm
We also
Breanna.
kind of just said it right now.
I know, but see, I want
Okay, we're gonna do it.
the guy that. Okay.
Really wobbly.
Hey guys, I'm Breanna.
I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Daniel. See how great that was? It worked out
good.
well.
Seamless.
Because pretty much what's happening right now is like I'm sandwiched between two female doctors and I'm just a companion. This is really what's happening. I get to be the companion for the doctors. This is dope for me, so it's fine. Because they're both smarter than me. So anyway, welcome. Trust me, you're still smarter than me.
We're all smart in our own ways.
Yes,
This
that's
is
right,
true.
because I color.
This is
Uh, so we are once again live from Gallifrey, and we're going to cover this show. Is there any Doctor Who news? We covered a lot last week. I don't think there's anything new.
I don't think so.
Well, in terms of news, no, but I did have a prediction last week that I need to amend this week.
What? Really?
Well, because, okay, remember my, theorizing about the vault? And I was like, oh, maybe it's the Master. And you guys were both like, what? Remember that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, so I'm not sure. I still like the idea of the Master being in the vault, but I'm also like, should the Master be in the vault? Because they knocked.
Yeah.
But they knocked 3 times, not 4 times.
Okay,
That is
we
not the
noticed
heartbeat of time.
We noticed that.
We noticed that.
Okay, good.
Because we saw,
But then
The
also
time-
Missy
Right
made
at
a
the
knock-knock joke,
but-
and knock-knock
but
jokes
wait.
have only 2 knocks. It's
But-
right there in the title.
Okay.
But right at the end, there were 4.
yeah, there were.
Oh, because I
That's
know
the
they
thing
knocked
that we
multiple
noticed.
times.
No, it did.
Okay.
Like, we were counting
Did
the
they?
counts. It was
Okay. See, I need to go back and recount.
1, 2, 3, and then they did
Yeah.
it another round, and then it was 4.
Okay, but was Nardole talking over that one? Because that's
Yeah,
maybe
he
I
was
missed
talking
the
over
4th
that,
one.
yeah.
Okay,
Because we were like, wait,
I
that was
could've
4.
sworn-
But I wonder if
because
it's
I know in
just
the second time that they knocked, it
don't
was
know.
also 3.
Yeah,
It was.
It was.
It was.
And then I
In the
started
very
thinking,
third
I was
time.
like, okay, so it's 3.
But then
okay,
remember,
so,
Wilfred,
but then if
it was like he will knock 3 times.
No, he will knock 4 times.
Was
and
it
then,
4?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3.
No, because it was I will knock 4 times, and then the doctor's like, oh my god, it's the Master, and the Master's gonna kill. Spoilers for end of season.
If
End
you
of-
haven't figured that out already, that
Tenet.
is your
Oh, I'm
own
sorry.
fault. There
I'm
is
sorry,
a
yeah.
statute of we are past the
Yes,
statute of
yes.
limitations on spoilers for that.
Honestly. Oh,
in terms
man.
of spoilers, they should be saying, I don't want to know.
I don't.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
but still, looking at it the way it is right now, I'm telling you. Okay, so
Yeah.
there were.
So
4
there were
knocks
4 at the end. So okay,
At the
then
end.
I do
But
not
thought
need to
was-
amend it
I don't
think
because
it was
3. I thought
no,
it was
because
the
if
thing was
it
3
because I know
I
the
thought it
first
was
2 because I
3.
counted
I
the
feel
first
like I
one
knew
and I was
it
like,
was
oh, they're knocking, and I'm like, oh, they did 3, and then they did it again, and I was like, oh, it's 3. And then the last one I did.
Are you
I'll
looking
have to
for
read. You're gonna. Are you googling?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
So anyway, I
can't
am
tell.
just going off of my memory from like
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
1 o'clock this afternoon.
Four
when I
knocks.
watched
4 knocks is what
it was
says.
4?
Who told the doctor
Because-
about the 4
yeah,
knocks?
4 knocks.
So,
No.
well then that's
Oh
even
no! Wait.
better.
Were you googling for the end of Tenet? Because I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that's 4.
Four
It's the
knocks.
heartbeat
So-
of Time Lord, binary
By-
vascular
that's
system.
right, 'cause
I
it's
know
two-
that. I
it's
thought you
two
were
hearts.
googling this episode.
It's
I'm
two
like,
hearts.
no.
So it's
I
two
know
hearts.
the Tenet thing.
2 hearts, 4 knocks. I
Yes.
get it. And with this, at the end, so
Oh.
I think because first it was like we heard 3 knocks at first. We were like, okay. So now knowing that, putting it together, you hear 3 knocks again. You're like, well, that's 3 knocks again. It's not the master. And then the last time they
See,
give us 4 knocks.
'cause then
so
it's like-
that makes sense.
So you're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It is the doctor. I
And
mean,
then
it is the
also
master, I
next
think.
week's episode's called Knock Knock.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Which
So-
I mean, obviously it's knock
Of course,
knock,
of
not
course.
knock 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 knock.
But
Although
knock,
you
knock,
know,
who's there?
Doctor. No, wait. Who? No, wait. No, I missed it. I know the joke, but I messed it up. I'm sorry. Do it again.
Knock knock.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The
The
doctor.
doctor.
Doctor Who.
Ah.
I'm the worst. Sorry. I got too excited and said the punchline.
And we're nerds.
I was like, I know this joke.
So let's pull it back. We're gonna go and we're gonna really go
Let's
in
pull it
depth
all the way back
concerning.
to 1814.
Ooh, I love it.
Which the last of the Frost Fairs, which is also where he took River, and then okay, so like at the beginning of the episode when he's like, oh, it's the end of the Frost Fair, like it's probably the ice is gonna crack. I'm gonna pick a better place to repark the TARDIS, and I'm like, are you really, or are you just purposefully parking away from River so you don't run into yourself?
Exactly. Okay.
Because that's kind of what I figured.
All
So
right.
I'm like, you
See,
chose
I
the
might be
exact
here.
same Frost Fair.
See, but people aren't paying attention to a lot of those hints, a lot of those nods. But I love it because the truth of the matter is, what Moffat wanted to do with this whole season was pretty much reboot the show.
I mean, they called the first episode the pilot.
And
I think
with
they're
that,
doing a really great job.
No, they are.
and
This
with
season
that,
is
they're
the
doing
best
great.
in years.
We have a lot of
love it.
touches on a lot of things that we've already seen. Almost every episode, you're like, oh, okay, this reminds me of this episode.
Yeah.
This reminds me of this episode.
Because I
This
was
one-
like, the beast below.
Oh!
There
And
you
then
go.
you know how the first episode, the first episode I kept being like, oh my god, there's so many Shakespeare code things with like physics and everything. And then this episode, it's almost the exact same conversation from race right down to the butterfly effect. It's like they basically just copy and pasted and then made it slightly more socially conscious in this one.
Can I
and I'm
say
just like, what?
how much I loved that melanin comment?
Right? That was so
She's
great.
like, melanin. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to go back in time.
Also, I really appreciated the doctor's response this time. Because last time it was like, okay, it was Tenet, and he kind of like laughs everything off. That's what he does. But this time he was like, oh no.
He's like,
I acknowledge,
Oh, he does.
humanity sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas Tenet was just kind of like, I just walk around.
Well,
like,
even
deal
beyond that, he acknowledged the fact when he brings up, and then he goes back into the whole Jesus thing, and he was like, well, it was whitewashing. It was the most prominent level of whitewashing. I was like, wow.
Yeah, well, she
you
said
really just
Regency
went in.
era
Yeah,
England is
exactly.
a lot blacker than they show in the movies, and he said so was Jesus. Because, Jesus would have been.
But guys,
from
Jesus
was
was
Levantine.
Jewish.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Sorry.
I love Avenue Q so much.
There you go. Bravo for the reference.
My
can't
introduction
help
to
it.
Avenue Q was that scene. It was when the play had just come out, and I was in high school, and I was a theater kid and in improv and everything, and I hadn't heard the soundtrack yet. I hadn't gone to see it yet.
okay.
And 2 of my friends were backstage. If they're watching, hello, and they were reciting that song. But it was, it's a talking portion before they get to singing.
Guys,
And so I walk in, and I think they're just having a conversation because I have no exposure to this yet. And right at I couldn't have planned it better if I tried. And right when I come in, I'm like, guys, Jesus was Jewish. He was from the Levantine. He was Middle Eastern.
Yep.
And they stare at me, and I'm like, well, this can't be news. And they're like, that's the next line in the song. And I'm like, what? Wait, song?
You're like,
What?
song? Huh? What?
And that was
What
my
are we talking about,
introduction,
guys?
to Avenue Q.
Well, there you go.
You're like, wait, what are we talking about, guys?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
fun times.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
good stuff. Yeah.
I forgot to even go ahead and address the live chat. I am so sorry, guys.
Oh, right. Yes,
well,
we got
we got so distracted. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Let's first start saying hello to people that are already there. We have Charles Wright right there.
Hi.
Hello, Ryan. All right. Hello, Ryan Star Super Steel Thomas. Ryan, you are adding more to the name every week, and we love it. Who else do we have right now? Talking about sonic screwdrivers. We have Christian Bregman Lyon. Oh, hello from New Zealand!
Ooh,
Oh my God!
hey.
And then we have
I've always wanted to
Ben
go there.
Ben Kluwer. I love. Oh, there you
That's
go.
my boo.
Look at that.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice.
Aw.
Oh, look at that.
Aww.
She talks about you a lot, though. I'm just going to say it,
Maybe.
which is a great thing. Come on, man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. My girlfriend doesn't even know who I am when I'm not there. So,
Oh.
yeah, she's never watched any of these, so it's okay. I can say anything right now. It
Oh,
doesn't
well,
matter.
there you
It doesn't
go.
matter. Well, yeah, no, it's like, okay, I remember I heard Seinfeld say this once, and he was like, all right, people say I'm an amazing comedian, I'm great, blah, blah, yada, yada. His wife, before she was his wife, when he was his girlfriend, she never watched anything that he did. She was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of Seinfeld. I didn't like that show.
Huh.
Oh, I'm not a fan of something that he wrote. I'm not a fan of that. I don't watch Cars in Getting Coffee with Comedians or any blah, blah. I don't like his comedy. Like, I'm like, what the hell? How are you his wife or connected
And
to him?
then you
She's
started
like, I like
dating.
him. She's like, I like him. That's all. I mean, I don't
No,
like
that
his
makes
stuff.
sense.
And I'm like, oh.
Because, like,
I get it.
you would think.
So,
It's almost like any other career that's not artistic in some way.
Mm-hmm,
You would never question it. It's like, let's say that you were married to a neurosurgeon. You're not going to be like,
Like, that's
what?
just what he does.
You don't read all of his academic treatises? Like,
No,
what's
no,
wrong with
no,
you?
no,
You,
yeah,
you know,
right.
you don't
You're
watch
like-
the videos of his surgery? That's so weird.
Yep.
But then, like, when it comes to art, people kind of apply different rules for
That's
some
right.
reason.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my girlfriend. Yeah. Even for my stand-up, she doesn't even show
Intriguing.
up. She's like,
So 1814.
yeah, so we go from 1814 to the River Thames, and that is amazing because, of course, yes, they're frozen over, and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, the River Thames frozen
Well,
over?
they did that for
But-
centuries. They
yeah,
did that for.
exactly.
I mean, obviously, this one in 1814 was in fact the last Frost Fair, which they've mentioned before, like with when he brought River there.
Boom.
But I think they went on for like it would have been going for a couple centuries, at least a century. I want to say 2 before this was the final one. I want to say probably since the 17th century. I'm not sure.
Seriously? All the way till, like...
I want to. That's not my period.
No,
Of,
I know, but still,
specialty,
just even...
but-
Look.
Yeah.
I don't know. So when you tell
I can
me, I'm
Google.
just like,
No,
this
but I
is
know
the
that
God's
it
honest
went
truth.
on. It went on for at least a century. I think a couple centuries. It
is
was
cool.
a thing. Like they used to call it like the mini ice age. Which I mean, there's so many things that we could talk about with that, just in terms of terminology.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
But-
Ice, lots of ice.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Things were cold. Which, speaking of things were cold, and then at the end, like the Doctor and Bill get splashed with this like
Frozen
like
water.
frozen water.
Yeah.
And
And then
like,
they're just like
"Ooh."
laughing it off and not drying off or warming up, and I'm like,
Well,
or how are you not freezing
It's
right now?
the answer is it's TV.
Adrenaline?
No,
Oh,
it's TV.
okay.
It's one of those words like.
I prefer
You know, when it
the
ends like that?
the excuse of adrenaline because at least then that makes slightly a little bit of sense, like in
Ah,
universe. Like I
true.
want it to make sense. Like there's that one line from when 11 was the Doctor where it was, oh god, what was it? It was something like oh it's not meant to make sense, or don't think about
don't
it.
think
Something-
about it. It's
Oh no,
just
no,
like-
I think it was actually just a Matt Smith quote. I don't think it was even a quote from the show. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, no, just don't worry about it. It's silly.
Well,
don't think about it too much." I'm like, I want to think about it. Overthinking is what I do.
Oh,
Like-
well, you're not supposed to in television. The whole great thing about
No.
it is they think for you
I
until they
refuse
leave
to
moments.
not overthink.
it's
You
a
have
time.
to.
Shh, just let it just let it
Just
happen.
let it happen.
It's fine.
It's exactly what the silence said to people too. Well, we have Charles Wright who says, I'm almost at the end of Tennant's run as a Doctor.
Sorry if we spoiled things for you.
Congrats, we're sorry.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not at all. You should have watched it already. No, I'm playing with Charles. No, I'm glad that you remembered because last week Charles was like, okay, I'm starting to really get started with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Now you're already close to the end of Tennant's run. You're doing great, man.
You're doing really
really good.
I do
Did you
love
skip
Will.
over Eccleston? Because there are moments where you could have. But
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not saying I agree with that sentence.
I didn't finish the sentence. I said but. But
Yes.
there's a
We're
lot of
just attacking
storytelling.
you
They
from
are.
either
Look
side
at
over
this. It's
here.
like seriously. God, it's like Dr. Donna and then Dr. Donna
You
more.
need to move on the information that is given to you.
But no, I was gonna say, but there is a lot of important storytelling that goes along with Eccleston that they make a lot of reference to throughout other Doctor's runs. So,
hello, bad wolf.
Boom,
right?
Boom. I mean, so it's very important. You get to see the dichotomy and the connection between the Doctor and his companions, and it's set up for everything else. But moving on, congratulations, good on you, Ryan Star Super. Ryan, I'm just gonna call you Ryan because I can't do this. Ryan. You're drinking coffee right now?
Oh wait, hold on.
I'm drinking Oatmeal Stout. Not bad.
Can I just steal a little bit of that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I love good stout and Stockyard.
We should actually get another. If we could convince our producer to get one from the refrigerator.
When I saw him bring this out, I saw he was holding it like this. I could see this much of the thing, and I'm like, is that Stockyard Oatmeal Stout? I'm like,
yes, it
may
is.
Have had this before.
It was literally like one of those weird commercials where it's like, because I have a Stockyard.
Are we allowed to do this?
She notices me.
This is
I don't care.
Are we allowed to even
about
say
that?
And I'm drinking straight vodka.
Yes.
Clearly.
That's
right. Not water at all.
That's how hard it is to deal with me. She needs straight vodka. It's like, he's so annoying. I need vodka to cover the tears.
So anyway,
good times. That is delicious.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Harvey King, reverse of polarity. Good morning from the United Kingdom.
Nice.
Geekdom.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, United Geekdom. I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna get geeked. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear.
I like United Geekdom. Oh God, remember that bit in the IT crowd when they go the work outing and they go to see a gay musical, and they're welcome to the United Queendom, and Moss is just like, they can't say that. Can they say that?
For the whole thing, he just kept doing
my
that.
favorite moment in that whole episode was when Moss is asked for his review, and he just goes, I'm questioning every value I've ever held, and I'm loving it.
Bravo. It was
Thank
good.
you.
It was good.
I love Moss so much.
I'm getting compliments on your shirt.
Oh my God.
Isn't it super cool?
Oh, hey, thanks, Charles. Appreciate it. It's a great shirt.
It's a great shirt.
The hero of space and time.
And look at what just appeared.
Oh
what?
Just for you.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think in my wallet, I think I have an opener.
Oh, well, see? Look at that. That is a real drinker, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
See, I appreciate it.
Do you want the end of this? That I only took one sip out of it, and then, or you can just have the end of mine. Well, don't spill it.
Oh yeah, because you guys don't know.
You've already done that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure I got a key bottle opener from a wedding.
My purse and my tribble are intact. That's all that
matters. That's all that matters, guys. Seriously, I feel like Wilfred so much right now. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
I've never actually used this before. It was a wedding. It's a wedding favor.
No, that's not alcohol. Oh yeah, we're live right now.
Yeah, no, we're just very unprofessional.
It's fine. We're just not professionals at all.
More producers walked in. Sorry, guys. Anyway, moving on. So from there, yes, we know we're there, 1814 on the River Thames, and when we are, of course, right off the bat, Bill is afraid to mess up anything concerning time.
Yeah.
Anything.
Right.
What if I step on a butterfly?
Exactly. What if I do this? What if I step on this? What if I blah,
Which,
blah,
again, was the exact same thing that Martha said when they stepped out in the Shakespeare Code. She's like, am I going to get carted away as a slave? What if I kill my grandfather?
Yeah.
What if I step on a butterfly?
Yeah, but right off the bat, Doctor just plays it off, kind of laissez-faire with it, like, look. It's just time travel. Like, wait a minute, it's just time travel. Like, for us, what we've always been taught, it's, oh my gosh.
No, but he wasn't entirely laissez-faire. He was very much like, and she's like, slavery's still a thing. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, true. No, but that part I understand, but it was just like, for the idea of, you're so worried about time travel. He's like, it's just time travel, which I kind of get.
I wouldn't be worried about time travel. I'd be like, I want to do everything I want to do. I want to try everything, as Bill says. But at the same time, like, I don't want to mess up the future I'm from. Like, I've much like Bill, I've seen enough sci-fi to know that things go wrong when you mess with time.
Yes, they do.
Now, for yourself, would that be a worry also? Because that was a question I was going to ask.
Heck yeah. I would have so much anxiety. I'd be like, what if I, like, convince Nikola Tesla not to, like, do something?
Wait, is that your... Okay, so TARDIS shows up at your door. You're going to go Nikola Tesla? Like, what's your... TARDIS shows up at your door. What do you do?
I mean, you know, this is gonna sound.
I already have a plan. Sorry.
This is gonna sound really bad, but I'm like, I'm with Mel's. I'm like, what the hell? Let's kill Hitler.
That's not bad.
I loved Mel.
I mean, I'm on that train because I'm just like.
Also, her dress was so cute.
I know.
want to wear that. Although we're talking cute outfits.
Do you want to borrow it? Because I have it.
Have it?
I do.
Ooh.
Yes, oh my God, that's amazing.
Okay,
I have that.
There is such a friendship happening right now. They're just like,
oh my God,
we are
no,
going
wait.
to share each other's dresses.
You know what we should do? Mm-hmm. We should get. Tell me where you got it. We'll get 2 of them. You do Mel's. I'll put my hair in rags overnight. I'll do a river. We'll do a regeneration scene.
Okay. Okay. However, it was super, super hard to find that dress. Like it was eBay galore. Like eBay everywhere. So, but yes.
Because how much fun would that be?
It would be a lot of fun.
The last time I reenacted a regeneration was like back in grad school. I flew back to the States for Galley because it's Galley.
They're asking the same question that we just asked. What time period and why?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have a plan for that. Why?
They're already going into it.
I can't go that far back.
I was saying the same thing. Unfortunately, I can't.
Oh no, wait! You didn't finish your thing. I got distracted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna kill Hitler. Sorry.
Well, I would want to do the what the hell, let's kill Hitler, but at the same time,
at what point are you gonna go back when he was a child? Are you, which brings in a whole other ethical question.
Are you a baby killer?
No, I am not a baby killer.
Are you gonna go when he was in art school? Are you going to go when he became chancellor? Are you gonna go?
I feel like I'm gonna change my answer because I'm like I can't go that far back because skin tone.
Well, if you could just show up in an isolated area and not worry about everybody else.
Yeah. Just like know where he is.
I just want to know where are you gonna go, when are you gonna murder.
Also, if the doctor, who are you murdering?
Winner.
Clearly, there's murder happening.
Just before he got a phone call from the Reichstag and told him he was Führer.
there you go. And they're like,
although if it was right before, wouldn't they just pick someone else who would also probably have the same political motivations?
Yeah.
So I mean, you really gotta
look. The thing is, when
you gotta get rid of all of it.
When things that are supposed to happen are going to find a way to happen. So honestly, actual answer, I'd probably go into the future to where I don't have to worry about things. I'd be like, future seems safe.
Yeah, although as the doctor says, I mean, when Bill is like all of my actions might affect the future, he's like, they always do.
Well, yeah, that's
like they wouldn't be affecting your personal future.
I'd probably do future first and get the hang of it, and then I'd be like, let's go back to
so you only potentially mess up someone else's life,
yes,
and not your own,
and not my own. And then I'd go back to where to like the 1800s with like the awesome clothing and like the clothing is just like I'd want to go.
God, I want Bill's
that.
boots so bad. Oh, I know exactly what I would do. Okay, so here's what happens. Doctor shows up at my door, and I'm like, score, awesome. I recognize the TARDIS. I know who you are. Don't worry about it. In my dimension, there's a show about you. I know all your rules. I know all about fixed points and times. I got this. And Doctor's like, wait, what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. I say, I would love to travel with you. Give me a minute. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, or you could give me a ride. And he's like, okay. We go somewhere where I can buy like some sort of culinary, supply store. I'm gonna buy massive quantities of rock salt, like so much rock salt.
Okay, all right, we're going here.
Just
I'm on this ride.
Yeah,
I'm on this ride.
Massive quantities of rock salt. He's like,
some beer. Go ahead.
Go right ahead. And he's like, okay, so where do you want to go? I'm gonna go to now. For those of you watching who aren't familiar with my career, I'm an archaeologist. So my whole thing would be, I already, I'm fairly familiar with different events and where has and has not yet been excavated.
So what are you going to go fix?
Yep.
I'm going to go to the Library of Alexandria soon, like close to right before it burned down, but not right before. Like I'm not going to get caught up in the thing. I'm not going to stop it because it's like one of the greatest historical tragedies for people who love books. So like makes me so sad. As it should. So I'm not going to stop it because the doctor would never let me stop it, and it would affect all. Stopping that, I don't even know the repercussions.
What are you going there for?
So I show up before it gets destroyed, but close enough that it has all the documents, and I. Huh?
No, go ahead, and then I'm going to tell you. We got a super chat. Go ahead.
So I show up. I use my massive quantities of rock salt so that I don't accidentally have the wrong currency. Because the doctors with money and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to accidentally get the wrong one off by a year or two and have people be like, what's wrong with you? Rock salt. Salt's very expensive. It's very important. I can either just use it or exchange it for currency once I get there. I bribe a scribe. I basically go through the library making copies for my own personal use of everything, because why would I not? Also, bribe a scribe to be like, I look through and I'm like, okay, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have everything we don't have or only have in fragments. I get that scribe to copy down. Then I pay him a second time for his silence. I'm not gonna murder him. Like, I'm just gonna bribe him.
I'm murdering people.
I bribe him. I pay him off for his silence. And then, using my knowledge of where has and has not yet been excavated or built over too much, I go and I bury those documents. Then, when I go back to the present, I go and I get a grant from either a museum or a university, depending on where I'm working at the time.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
And then I go and I dig it up, and I don't change the present, and all of that knowledge gets restored for humanity.
And then you're famous for finding the books.
Yeah, but that's like secondary. Like, I don't care if I'm famous. No, the knowledge is what's important here. Like, humanity needs that.
You see, this is why she's a doctor, because I'm over here thinking about
She's better than I am, because I'd be like, hey, I found this.
See,
if the doctor was like, no, I can't do that, I won't allow my companions to be, famous, then I would just...
Not true.
Anonymous.
What's her face? Amelia was a model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she was famous for things that she could have been famous for either way. If he's like, I'm not going to let you use time travel to make yourself famous, then I'd be like, okay, I'll get a job at the university and kind of like be the background person, but I'll be one of the leads on like the paperwork, but I'm not going to be in the spotlight. Like, what's really important here is that the knowledge gets out to the world.
Well, speaking of knowledge, there's one thing that's very important that you should know. Larry Newbill just went ahead and hit us up with super chat.
Super chat.
If you guys don't know what super chat is, so super chat is great because what it does, it helps you guys to support us. You're able to highlight your comment, and by highlighting your comment, it will show up big bright for us so that we can call you out and say, hey, thank you for doing it. And it helps support us so that we can give you this great programming that we're already doing now. It helps you to show your love. You're actually part of that hashtag show. And Larry Newbill, definitely, you are part of that hashtag show. Congratulations. He survived the Beer Olympics earlier today while we were at another one. Yeah, slow clap. It's gone. That's beautiful, beautiful. Earlier on one of the feeds while we were doing the show, he told us that he was going to be back. He was going to go enjoy the Beer Olympics. So apparently
the Beer Olympics?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah, we want to know. So you got to tell us more about the Beer Olympics, but he
won
a medal.
Is it just like drinking?
Medal.
Is it a drinking contest? Or is it doing Olympic Games while drinking beer? And if it is that, is it modern Olympic Games? Is it ancient Olympic Games? Is there pancration? I mean, because pancration with beer? Crazy. No? Okay.
No. He said he got a Jester medal, so I'm thinking it's the level of drinking. But you tell us more exactly
Jester
how
medal
it is.
could still be ancient. They used to do a number of the Pan-Hellenic Games. They used to do competitions for song and poems, tragedy and whatnot. Obviously in Athens they had both tragedy and comedy, but at the games themselves that were devoted to athletics, like especially the Pyrrhic Games, they had tons of stuff for poetry.
I'm gonna take a little bit of a side jumper because what's happening in the chat seems pretty interesting. They're asking, Charles is already asking, who's your guys' favorite companion? We did answer this not that long ago.
Question.
But that's a good question. Definitely, we can think about that. I'm gonna move through and then we'll come right back to the answer. Ryan Thomas, of course, to you. Says, what time period would you go? You already answered that. Mm-hmm. You've answered it as well. For me, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it. If I had to choose one, being honest, I'm going to choose maybe late 60s, 70s. I can't go too far because the darker you are, the farther you can't go back. So maybe
depending on where you go, and depending on how far back.
Well, very true. That's one like in the 60s.
Like when Bill is like, melanin slavery is still a thing. Modern slavery, yes, was racially based. If you go far back enough, yes, a number of cultures, most cultures had slavery, but far enough back, it wasn't racially based. It was based upon who lost the last war.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Or class. Usually who lost the last war.
But from there, that's true. I would say still, I would go like 60s, 70s, free love. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, some other people are saying, which is interesting. The Old West or Japan. I don't know. Everybody would like to say the Old West, but how good of a marksman are you?
Also,
you
the Old West
you're like,
is like
and then bang, all of a sudden you're dead.
I'm a very long time period.
Good.
If that many people are
yes.
going to the Old West, it's going to be filled with tourists. Like, it's
Well,
not that long a time
and
period.
Sickness.
Well, see, my dad was a Marine, and so he taught me when I was 13. So
Nice.
See?
I would be okay in the Old West, I think.
My dad was in the Army, but then that was like before he even met my mom. And by the time that he met my mom and then I was born and all that stuff, he's a philosophy professor. So he taught me a lot about, Plato.
That's true. Also, Charles Wright says, I would just take all the books and read them.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in.
From the
man.
Library of Alexandria?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
Yep.
You see, you don't want to
He
just
said just what you're
take all
saying,
the books because you don't want to, I suppose if you were able to take them right before everything burned down. But then, wouldn't they notice,
Favorite
there's a
part?
bunch of burned buildings, but there's no burned documentation here? Like, I feel like someone would notice. Like, that would cause alarms. Like, I feel like you'd really have to make a copy of it somehow.
Ooh,
or only
that's
take
true.
half of them. Maybe only take the ones that we don't have today, like what I was doing with the copying out.
I could do that.
And then leave the ones that we know we already have access to so people aren't suspicious of like, how come it was empty when it burned down? 'Cause, I feel like that would raise a few flags.
What happened here? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, Ben is telling us right now, Eccleston and Capaldi might be his two favorite. Tennant and
They're
Smith
certainly
are
the most
wonderful, though.
PTSD
True.
doctor.
Ooh.
True, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
right?
That's true.
He does,
That's true because they're post-war.
They're-
doctors.
yeah.
I can definitely attest that Eccleston is his doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can go for that. I get it. That's really accurate. Actually, I like that because they're the post-war doctors. They go
Yep.
through a lot more. You know what? They're darker. They're deeper for me.
Oh, yeah.
In that
Yep.
way, but the others, Tennant does have his moments though,
And
where he does
9
kind
is
of
quite
go
literally the post-war doctor.
Oh, yeah.
literally. But because he tries to hide it, which is great.
And don't get me wrong, I loved John Hurt. God rest that man's
Oh.
soul. I loved him. However, I would have loved to have seen
More?
Eccleston be the war doctor because
That's
that's
what
what
it
was
was
originally
supposed to be.
supposed to be.
Exactly.
Although
would
I
have
love that
loved to
bit
have
that they
seen
put out right before the 50th, when
the-
it was the little short video, and then McGann shows up and he's like, "What? You were expecting someone else?" And we're all just like,
It was. I did.
"Yes, we
I
were.
did.
How did you know?"
I love that. Wait, but we need to go back to the show.
I'm sorry.
sorry.
We're sorry, guys.
We
We're
do
sorry,
this.
guys.
I'm so sorry.
Because we never get distracted in the other
No.
episodes.
Oh
That
no,
doesn't happen.
no. And also, ancient Greece. Good idea for Charles Wright.
Oh,
Good idea.
where in ancient Greece? Also, what time period? Are we talking archaic,
You're gonna make her
classical?
start. You're gonna make her
Or are you going like
No,
Proto-Greek,
don't.
like Bronze
You
Age
woke the
style?
beast.
Yes. Speaking of the beast, let's get to it.
Ooh, beast below.
There it is. There it is.
Well, like we said, it did kind of remind us of Beast Below.
Yeah.
There were a lot of hints to it that
And not
really
to mention
just,
God Complex. Tons of
Boom!
God Complex
Boom!
stuff there.
Boom!
Yeah.
I forgot about that until
Right?
now.
Well, because as soon
Oh my
as they
God.
go down under the ice and you see those chains, I'm just like, it's a prisoner.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, it's this super, massive, powerful prisoner
Uh-huh.
of some alien that's been put here and is basically being tortured and it's
Yep.
lonely and everything. I'm like, it's the God Complex. It's totally the God
Oh, yeah.
Complex.
So that was, there are a lot of relations. Like we said, it's a reboot of Doctor Who. So a lot of things are happening where you're like, hey, this kind of happened before. But it's like, yeah, that's the point. So if you're a fan and you're kind of getting upset over that, don't. Because
I'm
that
not.
is the
I
point.
love
Doctor
it.
Who always
Exactly.
does that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. So that's the great thing about it. But moving on with the episode. We
And
did
honestly,
get a moment.
all stories do that. I mean,
Well,
there's
yeah,
only so
there's
many
only so many
stories. There's
that
only
can be
so
told.
many
That's right.
types of people
That's right.
in the world.
We get a moment where Bill gets really empathetic
Yeah. Yes.
concerning, a lot of things. The kid that falls down through the
Spider,
through the
I
ice.
believe his name
Yeah,
is.
yeah, right.
The guy that's trying to murder her and the doctor, and I'm like, girl,
There has to be a moment where you have
there's
to
a time and a
understand.
place.
Yes.
Right? And she's been so logic over emotion in the other episodes, and so I was a little bit surprised. I can understand why they chose to do it now, and the doctor even kind of addresses it. He's like, you were in a room of dead people like 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, those people weren't dying right in front of me. You know, it's the whole thing of like Harry's parents may have died when he was 1 year old, but he couldn't see Thestrals until after Cedric.
Boom. That's right. It makes sense. It makes sense. Also, hello, Jasmine. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
We appreciate it. We love people when you do join the show. And thanks. She said she loved the show. Hey, what up to us? So, hey, what's up to you? Charles Wright answered your question. Probably before Athena, Parthenons.
Before the Parthenon?
Is that not
Before the Athena Parthenos went missing from the Parthenon.
Oh, I would love to see the Athena Parthenos. Oh, and of course Zeus as well. I mean, who doesn't love some ivory and gold statuary, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Some good stuff right there. I was actually on a dig once that found the settlement that it was pretty big when we found it. It got in the news. You may have heard about it. It was a couple years ago. Yeah, I think I told you about this. Mm-hmm. But it was the original place where they made kind of the prototype for the Colossus of Rhodes, as long as we're talking about colossal statuary. Right. Of course, it got melted down in the Christian era once it was brought to Rome, and then a couple of centuries later it was melted down because it was made of bronze. But anyway, colossal statuary, fun times.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Sorry. So anyway,
so
she was like way more empathetic, but I noticed that they tried to do that with Clara when she's like, remember, your cards.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, the empathy cards.
That's
yes.
right.
Because I guess, because you had mentioned earlier when we were watching it, we needed we need Bill to balance out how non-empathetic that the Doctor is. So like, I feel like maybe she's compensating for the fact that he's like, oh well.
Yeah, because that's really this Doctor at this moment, like Capaldi, when we started the first episode we saw him, they were just like, you're supposed to care about this, and he was like, what? Why? Like it was just he was really like, I don't understand why. And I don't even know you, but I don't really care why.
This episode had a very different feel from the others, not only because it was set farther back in the past, definitely not in the future, definitely not in the present, all that stuff. And Bill seemed very different, but then also the last two episodes have dealt a lot with reflection, either, physical reflection or emotional reflection. And then this one, they kind of contrasted that by juxtaposing the reactions of the Doctor and Bill emotionally.
Well, see, here's the question. Being that not the case, would you be okay with traveling with the Doctor where ultimately, because I can tell, both of you, usually you guys would have the same mindset as the Doctor, but being with the Doctor, knowing that, hey, I have to be his conscience, I have to be his heart in a way, do you think you'd be able to do it?
Which one?
Left or right, which one or two? Well, both, essentially.
I would probably be a horrible influence on the Doctor, because I'd be like, well...
Because your first thing was, I want to murder some people.
Well, you know what? And honestly, going back...
Hitler, you wanted to murder bad people.
If you had to,
I'm like this evil unicorn. I'm just like, I hate people as a giant whole, because we're horrible.
I want to watch that cartoon.
Individually, I'm like, no, I like individual people, and those people deserve to be saved. But as a whole, we're terrible.
Mob mentality, man.
I'd be like,
Beauty and the Beast. We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us, and this monster is mysterious at least.
This is what's happening, guys. It just happened right now, and if you didn't notice it, well, I just got it in stereo.
That was good. Yeah.
I just got it in stereo. God, are we best friends? Like, it's just literally that happened right now.
We're best friends.
Oh my god.
We're best friends. Oh my god. I mean, we do want to share clothes now, so
that's true.
We already had this conversation.
And I'm too fat to wear them. So, moving on, because you're hurting my feelings.
Not necessarily.
That's actually true. I can wear a garter. I can do like a trainer.
Also, the skirt I'm wearing right now is like, it's all elasticy and stuff. Like, it could even be turned into a very odd dress.
We could put you in something real cute. I'll know some people.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's
also,
DragCon is happening right now, guys.
Cosplay. I sew
DragCon is happening.
DragCon is right now, and I'm really I should have gone.
I've never been to DragonCon. I really want to.
Oh no, it's not DragonCon.
Not
DragCon. Oh, DragonCon is also people are getting tickets.
With RuPaul, like as in sachet away.
Yes. I could rock a nice wig, guys. Trust me, it would look pretty good. Not like I know or something.
I mean, like, all you need is, like, some good contouring.
Have you seen
Bob the Drag Queen?
I've only ever Okay, so I don't do a whole lot makeup-wise, but I've only ever done contour. And technically, I didn't do it. My friend Christy did. Hi, Christy, if you're watching. For Labyrinth last year, because every other... I host the tea room at Labyrinth, and every other year...
Oh, you hosted it.
Yeah. Have you not seen me in that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I'm like the last 3 years.
I'm in like full-on garb, so I'm unrecognizable.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. But you know, the random fairy with like stuff all over her head who's like
that's
taking
you.
everyone's like, how many people do you need? La 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 la, and like, oh, you go here, la 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 la.
And we've done it again. We're
Sorry, we got
off
derailed.
topic.
We got derailed. Okay, well.
Anyway,
so
they contoured me. Someone did it to me. I don't know.
Nice.
It happened once.
So the doctor, after dealing with Bill's empathy and her worry, pretty much wants to figure out, well, why would the kids even want to do this? How did they know to go ahead and deal with the doctor in the way that they had to,
Right.
and get him on the ice? And then they say, well, there was this guy, and he paid us, blah, blah, and et cetera, tattoo, blah, blah, blah. So the doctor's still trying to figure everything out, and then he heads over to where they're making bricks. Very special bricks.
Bricks.
We find out, they're poop bricks, guys.
It's a whole new
Poop
meaning
bricks.
to
Poop brick.
shit a brick.
Yeah, exactly.
Made by Stanley Poop Brick himself.
Stanley Poop Brick himself. That's what we call him.
Yep.
Because he's Lord something, I don't know. But we
I
call him
couldn't
It
Stanley.
was
attention.
Lord. No, wait. It was Lord. What was it? Lord.
Yeah,
call
see,
him-
exactly.
Lord,
He's,
no.
he's Lord Poop Brick.
No,
Just
it
call him
was
Poop Brick. It's
Lord.
fine.
Blurred. What was it?
Stanley Poop Brick.
It's in my notes. I'm sure. But
Go check your
It's in
notes.
my notes.
But we're calling him Stanley Poop Brick, and you guys like that name better, don't you? Because we're all sophomoric. So, Stanley Poop Brick, being the dick that he is, automatically goes in. He goes hard right over there on on Bill. And like,
Went
what are
right
you doing
for
here?
it.
You're supposed to blah, 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 blah.
that
right?
was so. Oh my god.
You see at the moment where Bill becomes almost disgusted with the way he's
Yep.
doing it, and the
She's
doctor
like,
notices.
I knew I shouldn't be in this time period.
Yeah, but I don't feel
Sutcliffe.
it was hurt, Sutcliffe.
Sutcliffe.
Lord Sutcliffe.
Sorry.
But once again, Poop Brick.
Poop
So he's going off, and it's not even like pain or hurt. It's I'm offended because you're just
Also, he
horrible.
didn't even think first. He was just like,
No,
"This is
he
the
just
worst."
ripped into
punch.
her.
Yeah, she was disgusted by him, and then doctor just
And then the doctor's just like,
infuriated. Bow! Hits
Yeah.
him in the face,
And I was
it's
like, yes.
There you go.
That was
Once again.
amazing.
And then when the other guys came in, I was like, we're gonna get some action, doctor, going on. Oh my god! I thought he was gonna start going for it, but he was like, it's not me.
Because
it's not the way
and
I do things.
I think it's meaningful that happened right after he was saying, you know, passion versus reason. And
That's
all that
right.
stuff. And while he was displaying passion, he didn't continue it. It wasn't a big action doctor sequence. It was, okay, yes, that happened. Now we need to try and figure out how to work within this situation. However, what happened was so grievous, he could not react.
Oh, yeah, I would say though. I would say so. That makes a lot more sense to me. Let me see. Who's the actor that played? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the
no
chat.
worries.
Looking at the chat.
We're playing catch up.
Let me see. The bad thing about being the doctor would be constantly seeing people die so much.
Tolkien
Oh.
said that the curse of the elves was their immortality.
Immortality. That's right. I mean, that's the one
Tolkien.
thing. That's one thing. Like everybody, I hear people say it all the time. Like, oh, I would be immortal. Okay.
I would not want to
I
be
would-
immortal.
yeah,
That sounds
no,
terrible.
no, but
Unless you
just-
could be immortal with somebody, I would not want to be immortal.
But
Even
again,
then,
after
even
a while-
then.
dude, after a while, hanging out with someone, you're just like, I hate everything about you.
Well,
It would
no, I
be-
mean,
it
like,
would become
I'm
me-
sure that wouldn't
it would
be with
become
everyone.
Me
I'm
trying
sure
to
there's-
hurt you and maim you.
I'm
as
sure
much as
there's
possible.
some people
I
with
don't
whom
know. I
I'm
feel
sure
like
there's
I'd
some
be
people with
alright.
whom that you would actually, you know, enjoy your immortality. But it's not just that. It's not the lack of companionship or having exactly one
likes your
good
shirt.
companion
Oh,
or a terrible
thank you so
companion.
Much. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a
Sorry,
shameless
it's
plug.
right.
So this is my friend Lynn, Stanley's company. It's called Living Skeletons. She also has a shirt that says Geek of All Trades, and it's got the Triforce, it's got a lightsaber, it's got a wand, and I am missing one other thing, but it's really cool. You should check out her brand, Living Skeletons with a Z.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
Boom, check that out. Make sure you guys do. Trust me, you'll get something there that you're gonna love.
No, all her stuff is really great. I wear like 3 shirts, and 2 of them are hers.
Oh, boom. See, it's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, just look at No, Zeus for the example of immortality.
What about Zeus? What?
He said, look at Zeus for the example of immortality.
Oh, yes, no. Well, okay, and then the gods are
Charles,
a tricky thing because, I mean, like, if you go with Oranos or you go with Kronos and stuff like that.
True.
You've got
Hey, Xavier Clark. Sorry, had to say it.
Oh, no worries.
Hearts back to you.
Yes.
Well, because the topic of immortality versus progeny in terms of the gods, we've got...
Go ahead. No. You're already on it.
So, like, with Oranos, obviously he was like, no, I'm getting rid of my kids. Like, I don't need them. I'm in charge. I don't want them taken over for me. Kronos, same situation. He's like, you know what? My dad did it in a stupid way. I'm going to do it in a smarter way. I don't want my kids. And then, he ate them.
Yeah,
and then that was after he chopped off the genitals of his father. And then he was like, well, I'm not letting someone chop off my genitals. I'm just going to eat all my children, which is actually really fun because then you kind of get a double birth. And that's what makes Zeus both the oldest and youngest. That's right. Of the gods of his generation of
Hey,
gods.
Blackwing, sorry to interrupt. Hello, he's just popping in to say hi. We appreciate it. Not a Doctor Who fan. You need to start becoming a Doctor Who fan. Trust me, the story is good.
It's awesome.
Really
the
good.
story is good. Whovians will tell you right off the bat. It's a really good story, man.
Yeah, it really is.
You tell me exactly what you like. I'll show you how there are types and shadows for it.
I've definitely done that
I'll point
with
it out.
friends.
You point out something else that you like. I'll point it out for you too. Trust me, it's really good. Take some time. Hit us up. Ask us. We'll tell you. We'll tell you. Just tell us what you like. Action, mystery, drama. I don't know. You tell us.
All the genres are represented.
It's really good. Really good. But
then Zeus doesn't have to do that, and he famously has ridiculous amount of children because he will sleep with anything, whether they want him to or not.
So long as it moves.
No,
or it doesn't.
And honestly, it doesn't even have to move.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to appear like a sentient thing. He could be rain.
Yeah. See, but the thing
suck to be a Greek woman. But he knew that he didn't have to deal with the issue of progeny because as an immortal, mortals want progeny because they want the next generation to take over from them. But the immortals don't, hence them killing off all their children as a threat to their own power. Zeus knew this wouldn't be an issue because of the prophecy that his first wife, everyone always assumes Hera is his only wife. No, his first wife, Metis, which, if you're a fan of reading the Odyssey or the Iliad, mainly the Odyssey in ancient Greek, then you'll notice that Odysseus is always called Metis because it means cunning, but it's also the name of his guy. She's like this cunning goddess. Anyway, fun times. There's also a pun in the Odyssey that I always grew up thinking was hilarious. And then when I finally learned ancient Greek, it's like a triple pun and it's way better. Anyway, back to progeny. Away from ancient Greek puns, back to progeny. So the reason that Zeus was fine having his children and not having to dispatch them was because this prophecy was that if he was going to be taken over by one of his children, it would be from the child with Metis, from his wife. And Metis was already pregnant. And he's like, well, I can't allow her to give birth. So he eats her.
Yes.
But she's a goddess. And their child is also immortal, so they don't actually die. And she basically gives birth within him, which doesn't count because it's still within someone else.
Ooh.
And then he gets a headache one day, and then this fully clad, armored, awesome person erupts from his forehead. And he's like, oh, well, you're not actually your mother's daughter. You're my daughter. And that's why Athena is super loyal to him and kind of weirdly the defender of the patriarchy, despite being a goddess, and it's a little awkward in the modern sense, but she's also the goddess of wisdom, so that's pretty cool.
See, in Blackwing, you were saying you don't like Doctor Who, but you just learned all this on the Doctor Who after show. So you just got schooled. There you go, buddy. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Just letting you know.
Like your hype
Boom! Boom! Gotcha, son.
It was like my backup dance.
Yes, that's exactly it. We're like, go girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
doing?
back to it. Poop Brick is knocked out. Doctor's tied up. Gets free, and when he does he lets them take him to another location and then gets free, of course. And it was pretty cool the way he did it. He figured out that the Sonic would be able to attract them. Also, before that,
I had a whole thing about that.
You pointed out something concerning a hand sticking out of the ground.
I did.
What did it remind you of?
It looked like hand mines.
I thought that too!
Right?
Yes!
It looked like hand mines!
Oh my god. That episode had such a great intro because it was already like the suspenseful, like, oh, war zone, everything. And then the kid says his name, and I remember I was watching it with Satine, with a friend of mine. And
you didn't know it that much. I'm sorry. Blackwing was like, I already know Greek mythology because of Percy Jackson. I really would have thought you would have been a guy that said I knew it because of God of War. How dare you, Blackwing? You hurt me. You hurt me to the quick. You cut me to the quick, I mean, which hurts a lot. But anyway, you didn't know that Zeus had a wife. See, once again, Doctor Who. Boom. Anyway, you were saying.
Doctor Who. I was over at my friend's house, and we're watching it. And, also, hi if you're watching. Hello. Which, possibly, she recommended me for this. But we're watching it, and we're just, and her then boyfriend is kind of in the room, but like not actually watching. And we're all just like standing at the TV, like watching super intently. And then the kid, spoilers by the way, and the kid just goes, Davos. And we just, like the entire air in the room is sucked into our lungs. We're all just like, what? And her boyfriend just like turns around and is just like, what just happened? Are you guys okay?
I had to rewind that because I was like, wait a minute.
And then it starts into the song and we're just like gasping and going like inarticulate babbling. We're just like, ah! And her boyfriend's just like, are you guys having a seizure? Like, what is happening?
I'm going to say this right now. You two, weak. Because right off the bat, when he said them Davros, I was like, well, just turn around. Let him die. Congratulate. Kill Hitler.
He's a child. No.
Let's
we
kill Hitler.
already
Who
brought
cares?
this up. If she's going to kill Hitler, are you doing it as a child?
I'm not doing it as a child.
I'm doing it as a child. I would go back once Hitler is born and punt him like a little football.
Change him.
Punt him off and he's dead. That's it.
Like, steal him and then give him to like a nice Jewish family, and then they can raise him.
Well, his mother was Jewish. What I mean, it's not going to help. He's a horrible person.
True.
He's a horrible person. He's going to be horrible no matter what.
He's
born with evil. He's going to be evil.
Well,
so just kill him. That's all it takes. And you don't really have to be the one to kill him. You let him out the window.
You don't
oh my
think
God,
that there might be the
dies.
Opportunity to
kick his mother in the stomach while she's pregnant.
world?
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. That's what you do. And that's what he should have done to Davros in that way by just turning around.
Davros is already like 8.
Well, no,
guys, we're on the wrong episode. We're on the wrong episode.
No, I'm just messing with you, Blackwing. No, I'm just messing with you.
Back to Sutcliffe. I'm trying to steer the ship back. I'm trying, guys.
Yeah.
Nice use of terminology given what his product is.
That's true.
Yeah.
Trying to ship it back. Yeah, I get it. But so in this episode, I'm sorry, Irish Musahi. We are actually talking about Doctor Who. We're getting back on it right now.
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
We get off after a while. But so with this episode, right off the bat, we find out that the Doctor's able to get free after they've already seen the giant monster and everything like that by using the Sonic. He uses the Sonic, attracts the things, and by doing so, they're able to once again, kill one of their captors. And Bill here comes again. Oh, I feel so bad about it. And that's when the Doctor pretty much tells her, hey, you know what? Strap up your boots and let's get this shit done. Because it was to the point.
Awesome boots.
She does. Awesome boots.
And it got right to the point where he had to tell her that and he had to explain to her as to why. There are moments where sometimes you have to understand that yet to be a savior, you must be a killer. It's weird to say.
I liked that moment when I like that he didn't force her to come to grips with it right away. He was like, you're gonna have to come to grips with it, but I'll give you some time. And that made her kind of almost accidental realizing that she had moved past it so much nicer when they're in the hovel with the children and she's just like, and they're like, oh, are you okay with that? And she's like, I moved past it. And she looks over at the Doctor and they share this moment and they kind of like have a look. Yeah, and then she sticks her tongue at it.
It's
but
so much
it's very sweet.
So much
it's the sweetest
tongue
stick out
A little bit. That is me. That's why I like
Belle.
her so much. I'm so her. Like, just awkward and like, no, I'm not going to, I guess I'll listen, but whatever.
It's literally,
so cute.
it's like the Doctor
I love
Bill
Bill.
right here.
She's
literally, that's what we have.
Yay!
Oh my God, you guys should
Oh my God!
That would be it.
I've done 11 before. I mean 12.
I have been looking for that Bill striped t-shirt or tank top. I mean, I guess I could look for the Prince shirt, though.
Oh, I do love both of them. Oh, it
So
really depends.
for
Yeah. Why
The
don't we
doctor
do
is
some
dope.
stuff?
This is
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
okay.
God.
Like I've done 12, but I haven't done 12 from this season yet. So.
I mean, you know.
Brian just asked a question that I was thinking of
I
also.
can buy a top hat.
Ooh, yes, you could. Did the monster have a name? We didn't truly get
Is it a
full
monster?
origin.
No.
Is
Is
it?
it-
If by the
maybe it's a
monster you
giant
mean the horrible
anglerfish.
human being, then yes, his name was Lord Sutcliffe because he
Boom.
sucks.
He's the real monster.
That was a real monster. But honestly, no, the giant anglerfish didn't have a name. Because, once again, it wasn't a monster.
Yeah.
And that's why. That's the beauty of it. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
You guys pointed right on the head. It was not a monster. You
Yeah.
pointed that out when we were watching it. The monster really was Sutcliffe.
Yeah.
It was. Because there's no way.
And that's
in the
always
world it
been the
was.
way on Doctor Who. The worst, not necessarily the creepiest. The creepiest are often the ones we don't understand. Like the first time we see the weeping angels or the silence. But
I'm sorry, I had a thought because you were saying like the creepiest ones are things that aren't really monsters, which then is sort of a tie-in because there's this one episode of Torchwood where you're like
I love
watching
Torchwood.
the
Wait,
whole time.
which one?
The
with the cannibal ones.
Yes,
the cannibal ones.
when they're in the woods,
yes.
and when they're in the woods, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
With
What
the guy-
alien is doing this?
With
and
the
all
guy
of
who
them.
ended up being in the
then
Night's Watch
and
later
then you
in
find
Game of
out that
Thrones.
it's people that are doing it, and you're like, oh,
Yes!
this is awful.
Oh, I love it. And then I remember like I showed it to some people and they were like, "What? No." But they were way too fast to be people. And then I was like, "You want to watch it again?" And they were like, "No, we just watched it." And then like a year later, I was like, "Hey, remember that cannibal episode? You want to watch that again?" And they were like, "Oh, it totally was people." Like you are made to expect it to be something, alien so
We love
much.
you too, Ryan. We love
but
you too.
So in this
Alistair
one,
Thorne, that's his name in Game of Thrones.
So in
Alistair
this
Thorne.
one, the fact that like the monster is actually Sutcliffe because he even says, "Oh, what an amazing speech." He's like, "That would work on somebody who was compassionate."
He's a total
Too bad it's
sociopath.
not your day.
Total
and I'm like,
sociopath.
"Oh, you
Right?
horrible person."
I totally took a note of that when he said that
Oh
too.
man,
Ah.
it was so
God,
bad.
he's the
It was so
worst.
bad. He
I
was
hate
horrible. And then from there, we get a moment where after Bill has now understood everything, they have their plan. They've devised what they're going to do, and so the Doctor pretty much rigs it so that the Sonic will attract the larger fish, and he's taken the explosives, put them on the chains to, of course, free the anglerfish. So once Big Papa, Big Mama, whatever, I don't know which one we want to call it,
Yeah, we don't know.
breaks free. What does it do? Immediately, it just goes to where the Sonic was. And who does it get? It gets the one and only Stanley Kubrick.
That
Yeah.
was so great. Now, okay, so I started thinking about that because the Doctor points out that when he notices that the lights are coming for the Sonic, he's like, the Sonic, it's Sonic, it makes noise, which... I mean, when Bill asked why is it Sonic, he's like, it makes noise. It made me think of the next Doctor. Remember
Oh,
that
yeah,
special?
okay.
He's like, how is it Sonic? Oh, Sonic makes a noise.
Makes a noise? He's like,
But yeah, no. And then I was like, he's like, oh, that must be how he knows to lure people away so that they're alone. And I'm like, well, if they're alone, I would think it would be almost quieter.
That
and
is
then,
so funny. Charles Wright
we
just said.
just- yeah.
Charles Wright
Oh.
just said the same thing right now that you just said about. It reminded him about the 10th Doctor when he meets the next Doctor. And
Oh,
how the
yay.
Sonic. You guys, we
You're on
are
the
so
same train,
simpatico right
Charles.
now. This is great.
Huzzah.
This is great.
But anyway, yeah. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, so if it's drawn to the sound of the Sonic because that's a signal that it's alone. But then we already know, okay, so it's drawn to the sound.
Okay.
It's drawn to the sound because it's alone. We know that no one can hear Bill scream because the fair is too loud. So sound is clearly, it's not just any sound. And like
Yeah,
other
that's
people,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
And there were other people who were on the ice, and it went specifically for Spider, for the little kid who had the Sonic. So I'm like, okay, they kept mentioning that it sounded lonely, it sounded despairing. And it specifically went for the Doctor.
I have
The
an
Doctor.
answer. I have an answer.
I know.
Oh,
I
wait.
know.
I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just thinking.
The Doctor has always been called, the lonely god and all this stuff. And I'm like, what if this creature had met the Doctor before, either wanted revenge on the Doctor, or because when the Doctor and Bill went down there, it didn't really try to eat them. It just kind of let them be there. Yeah, it just kind of recognized them. What if this Doctor has this creature has met the Doctor before, but maybe in the future for this Doctor's time period, and
Somebody
he
did the comment.
Oh, are they saying the same thing?
Well, no.
Wait. But then, so what if it notices, it knows the sound of the sonic, and every time it hears it, it thinks it's the doctor and is bringing the doctor to it because it knows that the doctor is the only one who can help.
It's drawn to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually pretty good.
So that's what I was thinking.
Ooh.
That's a really good thought. I did not
you.
see that.
I didn't think about that at all.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So this is what was distracting us. I'm so sorry.
No, I'd love to hear what you were
Charles
thinking.
Wright asked a question, and immediately you'll have the answer just as I
Okay.
did. Is there an episode of Doctor Who where someone doesn't die? Immediately, yes!
Everybody lives!
Okay, there's is it the Empty Child?
Empty Child Doctor Dances.
Yes.
Oh, you
Empty Child Doctor Dances.
Oh, by the way,
episode.
I believe her name was Nancy in the Empty Child Doctor Dances.
Yeah,
the girl.
She was,
Was it just me, or was Kitty like totally Nancy?
Oh yeah.
Like she was the exact same role.
Bravo! Yeah, she's in
Yeah,
charge.
well
in charge
done.
of all the ne'er-do-wells.
So it's an Eccleston episode.
Yes.
And it's amazing and fantastic.
It's in the top. I don't even know because that if I give a number, then I'm gonna have to analyze it. But it's in the top. It's like one of the best.
I don't know if you watched the Eccleston episodes. We don't know if you have because I remember you just said
it's a two-parter.
You said you started like pretty much last week and you're almost done with Tenet. Don't know if you skipped Eccleston, but if you did, like I said, there are episodes that you need to watch with Eccleston.
Yeah.
This is one.
Not only is it one of the best creature episodes.
Oh yeah.
One of the best episodes in general. Introduction to Jack, which obviously has repercussions. We were just talking about Torchwood.
They call me the face of Bo. That becomes important later.
Yeah, Face Bo. Well, Face Bo becomes important in the second episode of the revised series.
That's right.
End of the world.
That's right.
But
that's the first time we read, and then later when Jack says it, you're like, wait a minute, what?
You're like,
yes, and then later when Jack says it on Dr. Dances, they called me the face of Bo.
I was born on the Beauchene Peninsula.
That's right.
I was the first kid to get out of there. They called me the face of Bo, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
him and Martha, because they were like, whoa.
Yeah, right. I was like, what? And it blew my mind then. But
so good.
So Charles Wright, yes, it's an Eccleston episode.
As we nerd out of it.
You did.
You're gonna go
back. You kind of
okay.
skipped it. Now it's time to go back because you're watching Tenet, which you've seen the face of Bo. Actually, I think you've seen him die now. If you're almost through with Eccleston,
I was gonna say spoilers if he hasn't.
I'm sorry.
Statute of limitations.
Yes, it has been a while, so you can't blame me.
Also, everyone seems to die eventually.
Everyone seems to die eventually, right? Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Yeah.
So trust me, you'll love it. You'll love it. But so what? You didn't skip. You don't skip 9. Ask you. It says the guy says, "Wait, you don't skip 9." And he said, "Ask Cynthia." She'll tell you don't skip 9.
Don't skip 9.
You start off everywhere.
Some good stuff.
It's true.
Some good stuff.
I just said a little bit of some parts of it. But
there
whatever.
are some people who have issues getting started with 9, and
just
for them, I could be like, if you can't get through it, go to 10, then go back and watch 9.
But just get through the murderous trash cans and the murderous mannequins, and it will be fine. I promise.
The trash cans are silly, but I quite like the mannequins, especially if you've ever been in a department store crazy late at night when there's only like a bit of lighting, and then like there's weird shadows everywhere, and just like autons.
Oh no!
What's happening?
Automatically.
Automatically.
Ooh, So, okay, all right. So, from there, that was a good question. I'm sorry, we all got distracted. We loved. Oh wait, in my defense, okay, he has to say it. I have to.
To be fair, that was a really good question.
Yes, he says in his defense, I haven't been watching it when it's on BBC, which just finished airing the 10th run, and I recorded it. Oh, okay, cool. Then you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Can't blame you for it. Congratulations. You can always go online and steal it. But anyway, that's what some people say.
Amazon Prime.
It is on Amazon Prime. If you don't have it, or if you don't have a friend that has codes or anything, you can steal
libraries.
it. Oh yeah. Libraries.
DVD sections of libraries.
They do.
They're free.
It's free.
Also a thing.
And we started our conversation concerning the library card. So there you go.
And it's full circle.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Although, were we actually filming when we were talking about that?
Oh, no, but we kind of opened up.
Yeah,
into
we
it.
did. Yeah, because we were like mid-conversation. Yeah.
But
they missed the whole library conversation.
True. But so from there, after, of course, Stanley Pooprick gets eaten, we go right into, and now everything's great. And the kids are being taken care of. Our new Nancy has taken the empty children into the house because they're poor. They're empty. So
stomachs are empty.
Exactly. That's what I was going to go to.
Very
I was like, I'm playing because they were hungry.
I don't see a mark on my hands.
Right. I don't think I'm fine.
My face
fine.
seems okay.
No gas mask. You'll get that later. Later, Charles. So then after that, he doesn't have Amazon Prime. I don't blame you. It's okay. It's all right. Like I said, internet, just steal it. Like I told you, I don't care. I'm not covering up. Just steal it. Just steal it. Trust me, BBC loves it. Or just go to the library. If you
also,
can,
just go to the library because libraries are really fun.
They need to exist, man. Because if not, I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't. We need
a
library so that when it comes time, we can store River somewhere. So
also, I mean, that whole episode of Twilight Zone.
Oh my God! Oh, stop.
Have you seen my cosplay of that dude?
No.
I did. I had the cracked glasses and everything.
Yeah, you can't.
So we're in the giant house and they're getting fed. We're in the giant
house and the kids are getting fed. Everything's good. The orphans are looking great, and the doctor's over here committing fraud. Did you notice what the kid's name was? What was it?
So it was Perry. Right? And then so I'm gonna have to back it up and like zoom in on the document, but I'm like Perry. Yeah, I'm like it's got to be for Peregrine, right?
Right. Like, yeah, of course.
It was
Peregrine.
And the reason that we couldn't hear him say his name and Kitty had to tell us was because his mouth was full of food and his name is Peregrine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Bravo. Because I didn't notice it until actually when you really pointed it out.
Doctor Who does have a book. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. There's a number of books. It's a leather-bound book. There's also comics. There's also Gallifreyan
there's a number of books throughout the years.
There's a book full of Gallifreyan fairy tales, which I have, which is also amazing.
Ooh.
Nice.
And speaking of that, Gallifreyan, we'll get into something concerning Gallifreyan a little bit later.
The language, the planet, the people, or the stories?
More of the writing, and I'll tell you in a second. Cool. You'll see. So from there, what happens when the libraries disappear? Look at 45. I see.
The room just got colder.
Yes. Bravo. You'll see.
We're getting it.
So anyway, yes, and our audiobooks as well. Audiobooks are really right on point.
Yes.
There are a lot of Doctor Who audio stories as well that are really great, and it's like Big Finish.
I've only listened to a few of them, but the ones I've listened to are good.
They're great. They got Paul McGann doing a whole series on them. It's really good.
I think if you count all the, Doctor actually spoken by the actual actor audio stories, that McGann, despite being the shortest run Doctor, is actually the longest.
Stories. Yeah, he has the most stories. That is very true.
Much like Zeus, he is both the oldest and the youngest. He is the shortest and the longest.
We've talked about this, and we're not going to go into it because watch, I'm going to get someone started when I say it. There's also Doctor Who Star Trek.
Don't do it.
Simulation.
Stop.
Look at what you did.
Stop. No. We've already done this. So you have to go watch other episodes.
It's Peregrine, and then they get back. They're back in his office. They're back at the school, and then he gets out. And what happens? What's his name? What the heck is the half robot's name?
Nardole.
Nardole walks in, and he's like, "Here's your stupid cup of tea. I put some coffee in it. The cup of tea that they started in the first episode, or the last episode.
The TARDIS has been, aside from bringing them to the Thames in the 1800s, fairly, controlled by the Doctor. It's being more regular than usual with that one thing.
She does also what she likes, let's be real.
That's true. That's very true.
It's true.
But also, Nardole, I'm just like, okay, if you want to say you put some coffee in the tea because you like coffee in the tea, or the Doctor does, but if you're saying I put the coffee in the tea for some flavor, what kind of cheap, terrible tea are you giving the Doctor that it doesn't have flavor on its own?
I had the question. I had that. I was
like, I'm like, why would you do that?
It's like some horrible.
Maybe if you wanted like an extra hit of caffeine or something.
Although, but the caffeine tea, sometimes depending on what tea you have, can have actually more caffeine than some coffees because it's the way that the caffeine affects your
that has never worked for
your
me,
body.
Ever, not once.
No, well, that's because there's probably there are some teas that don't have any caffeine. There's some teas, and those aren't even really tea.
So we get the tea.
Yes,
that's a whole tea conversation.
We get the tea with the coffee.
Yes.
And then he ends up getting mad at the Doctor because he's like, you promised you wouldn't leave Earth. And he's like, I didn't leave Earth. I just didn't stay in this time period.
Yeah, that's true. He was still, since the last time with Smile, he was off Earth.
What he wants, what Nordal wants, and this is where it kind of gets important, what Nordal wants is for him not to leave with the TARDIS at all, because what is in the vault is very important and must be watched.
Also, did he give this oath to whoever's in the vault?
I'm wondering.
To someone else?
I don't know. But I'm there. They're
gonna give us that story.
I can't wait.
And now we
is
get
it
to
the master?
what? Yes.
Is it not the master? Is it a multiple masters?
This is a good question, Charles. Right? Charles, you are on it, man. We're gonna stop for a second because it still connects to what we're talking about right now as far as the vault, or at least where I want to go with it. Can all Gallifreyans regenerate, or just Time Lords? Because remember, not everyone looks into the Tempered Schism. Not everyone on Gallifrey looks, and they say it is a Time Lord. It's a function of a Time Lord.
That's true.
And Time Lords are the ones that look into the Tempered Schism. So I think it's only Time Lords.
They've been kind of vague about it, haven't
but
they?
I'm thinking there has to be some level of almost like the way to say it. It's weird to say.
On the other
radiation that comes out of the
on the other
Tempered
hand,
Schism that changes you.
On the well, yes and no, but I don't think you have to necessarily look into it because River had regenerative abilities, and she didn't look into the Tempered Schism. No. She was just conceived within the time vortex.
In the time vortex.
But once again,
kind of like the same.
But the Tempered Schism. Remember, the Tempered Schism itself is just almost like a crack in time, and it's radiating. So it's radiating.
Yeah, but like
she's born on something that travels through time and is getting everything from the time.
So then,
vortex
if that's
itself.
the case, would that mean that she's the only toddler who's ever regenerated?
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, because remember, she was a kid, she died, and then later I was
okay.
a kid in New York, and then I died. Yeah,
don't worry, I can fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I think it is a function of the Time Lords because it's something that you have to go through those.
I'd be hesitant to say an actual answer because they have been fairly vague on this topic, especially vague on the distinction exactly between the differences between Gallifreyans.
I'm sorry, I have to do this. Ben Cleaver, you're my favorite.
Aww.
Sorry, I had to.
Aww.
It's okay, you're my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
There you go, it's fine.
I mean, you guys are like my favorite too. It's fine.
Oh, that was so cute. Oh my god, I love it. Give him a wink.
Weird gross.
Give him a wink. Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right,
I have a friend who doesn't know how to wink.
Anyway.
Really?
Yeah, she just blinks really slowly. Yeah, with both eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can she at least just do that instead of the wink?
She can't operate her eyelids separately.
No, doing that. Just make the
but
sound.
When you did that, there you go.
Fine. Just
no,
make
but
the noise.
that doesn't look like that.
It's kind of like a wink, but it will get the sound. It's audible
do that
instead of
without
visual.
changing your eyes. Facing no. Show her what you're doing. No. But you're changing your eyelid. Do it when you don't. See, that doesn't look like a wink. That just looks like you're clicking at someone.
Oh, yeah, but you'll get it. It's something for you guys.
Would you though?
Because if I hang around, I see somebody go. Anyway, all right, bye. So Nordal.
Also, I think it's adorable when she does her like slow blink wink. Yeah, it's like her own thing.
Wait, what? Moffat tried to talk his way out of
Jenny returned.
And staging she died. It's stating she died, but it's not
It would have been nice to see more of Jenny.
I would have liked
that
more
would
of
have
her.
been cool.
That's true. Actually, I definitely understand that. That's true.
But I mean, the Doctor's
obviously
daughter.
we're referring here Jenny, the Doctor's daughter, not
you
Jenny,
guys
Vastro's
know,
wife.
You guys know that Jenny, the Doctor's daughter, in real life is the Doctor's daughter.
No. She's the Doctor's daughter who played the Doctor's daughter.
She
And
played
is the Doctor's wife.
And
had a daughter with the Doctor.
Who is the Doctor's daughter? It's a whole thing.
It's
a
the
whole
creepiest, incestuous, also / most adorable thing ever.
Yeah, it's
really
amazing.
awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you got a point. You have a very good point.
No, I would love to see, and they totally set up for it at the end. And she only partially regenerated. She
That's
fixed,
right.
Yeah, she did what 10 did before with Handy, and just
fixed it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need to fully regenerate. Look at me.
But going into something that's kind of telegraphed, this is where it gets into it. And I said, I noticed earlier, I started looking at images going online.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to answer his question. Yes, I have heard of The Librarians, and it is a fantastic show.
Have heard of, have not watched.
Same thing so far.
You guys would love it.
I just started watching The Magicians.
Oh my god, you especially would love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But then sometimes...
Okay, so I started watching The Magicians, but I'm
Yeah,
watching
I'm going
Magicians
now.
with friends.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I can't watch the other episodes without them because then I feel guilty.
But
I
The
used to do that with my
Librarians
girlfriend, I just skipped it.
is so campy, you would totally love it.
Okay.
Like, it's so campy, and it's so great, and it's so much fun. So I would say give it a shot.
And it's
Librarians.
about a bunch of librarians?
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
come
all
on.
different librarians. And
At the
they
same
all
library?
Yes, at the same library. But the thing is, it's like this library that houses
I kind of
of these
figured they were
different
all separate
artifacts.
individuals.
It's
Oh wait,
all
it's
the-
a
it houses-
museum as well?
It
There you
houses
go.
like all of
There
these
you
different
go.
artifacts. And it's kind of got like TARDIS technology where it's like bigger on the inside.
So
Yeah.
it's sci-fi?
And so it's got like Noah it's got, what is his name? Noah
Noah
Wiley?
Wiley,
Yeah,
Noah
Noah
Wiley.
Wiley's in it. And so like he disappears and like there's only supposed to be one librarian at a time, but Noah Wiley, he ends up having to go away for some reason. Forgive me if I'm not getting this.
so hence why there's
Like
multiple
more
time,
than
there's
one
like a
because they're like,
crisis.
okay, we got to figure out which one is going to be like the correct
okay.
librarian. So forgive me if I'm not getting this correct because it's been a while. But then
So
there's
they're
like
having like a
guardian.
librarian like Ensmoot.
They kind of,
Almost.
I guess.
Okay.
But then they also have Rebecca Romaine, who is the guardian, who is this like badass chick, who is like the protector of the librarian.
Badass
It's
chick who's
really
a protector of a library and a bunch of cool artifacts. Does she have a sword?
I mean, I feel like she has used one before.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she's really great. Like you should, I think
It
you
already
especially.
sounds like you said- it already
It's
sounds
totally,
like you
and it's so funny, and like I think you especially would get a
Sounds
kick out of
good.
it.
Even Xavier's
Sounds
like,
good.
sounds interesting. See, it's
a lot of fun, guys.
But
That
so
sounds
we
good.
gotta go right back to it. So
we're so close, we're almost
Nordal
done.
is still upset, and he says that, and then of course after that he walks away to mutter like he usually does.
Yeah.
It's so Douglas Adams. It feels like Hitchhiker's Guide, like the robot.
Well,
that's
Douglas
like-
Adams used to be a writer for Doctor Who.
Exactly. So where he walks off after he's like, stupid, and you're walking away with the humans. I told you not to leave, and blah, and then. We
And
start
then
to
he's
hear.
at the
We start to
ball.
hear
You're
some.
just feeling full-on
knocking.
Marvin right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, exactly. We start to hear knocking, and
1, 2,
Not-
3.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then at the last time we hear.
1, 2, 3, 4, and
Which
you're like,
I did not
what?
see.
Yes.
But Nardole was talking over that last one, so I only caught 3, and because
Yes.
I was paying attention to what Nardole said.
But it's 4.
And I'm just like, because
Yeah.
at first I heard the 3, and I'm like, oh, man, I was really thinking it was the master, but maybe it's not. And then when they pointed out that it was 4, and the
Four at
last
the
one, I'm
end.
like,
and the thing is, okay, the vault
What?
itself has a lot of stuff written in Gallifreyan, but it's not just regular Gallifreyan. I looked it up already. Some people were talking about it. They haven't done the translations yet, but it's High Gallifreyan. There's only time there's High Gallifreyan written on something. That's right. Is when it's almost like a proclamation from other people that say this is blah 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 blah. It's a declaration written on it. So I'm wondering if he made a promise to other people about holding whatever's inside. We heard 4 knocks. I'm going to say it. I think it's the master, and I think
Well,
he is
especially- I
holding
would
the
agree.
master
I would
inside.
agree.
That's what we
especially
said. We're gonna see
after
the
his
master.
last interactions with Time Lords and Mass.
But
I
what
mean,
I'm thinking is, we do see a clip of, we saw it when they say, like, what's coming up next. We see our old master. that
Johnson.
Exactly. We see Johnson. Now, the thing is with it, what if this is a Johnson that actually...
John Sim.
John Sim.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. John Sim that actually is time traveling. And they might have caught him at some time. So he's throwing him inside. Letting Missy still run around, because we do see a clip
that's
of
why,
Missy
because
also.
we've had multiple doctors
yeah.
before. Why not have multiple masters?
Exactly.
What if he's
Why
got
not?
Missy and like Johnson Master stuck in
If
there
they
at
were
the same
both
time?
in there, they would have figured a way out.
Yeah.
What
It has
if
to be.
what if Missy knocked 3 times and John Sim knocked
Knock
4?
4.
3 times on the ceiling if you want.
Right?
me, Doctor.
Right? And I'm just saying, like, that could be the case. I missed the 4th knock also. It's okay. Trust me. If you
It's
can,
there.
take
Watch
the
it
moment,
again.
watch
It's
it.
there.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And when it hits the
Paying
4,
too much
it was
attention
so
to Nardole.
distinct.
Stupid
It was
Nardole.
so distinct.
I know, we were
stopped,
like,
we started
what?
saying, High Gallifreyan written on it. And then after that, you have the 4 knocks. Come on, man. It has to be. And then we get to see, we've seen clips of both masters in this season. So I'm thinking, that's just my theory. I don't know if I'm
Is
right.
one of
It would
them
be
in there?
great.
Are both of them in there? Are 3 of them in there?
is
There's
it
a
none
new
of
one,
them
that's
and it's
true.
something completely out of left field?
There you go. Who knows?
Very possible.
Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Have they
Is
been
it the
trolling us
Valiard?
this whole time?
You know?
Is
It's
this going to be
Muppet,
another,
so it's
like,
not out of
oh
the
yeah,
realm of
4 knocks.
possibility.
This isn't Wilf at all.
Right, exactly. Who,
Also, for the Valiard, I don't want to get my hopes up about the Valiard because I already got my hopes up with the
We
50th,
did once,
and
yeah.
then
And then new.
yeah.
for those that don't know, the Valiard is just kind of an evil
Dark
construct.
Doctor.
Yeah, it's an evil
Dark
construct
Doctor.
of the Doctor that does exist sometime in the Doctor's timeline.
I
and
think
he
the
was even on trial.
The closest we've gotten to the Valiard in New Who has been the Dream Lord. That's
Yeah,
the
that's right.
closest
That's
we've
right.
gotten
That's
to the
right.
Valiard.
Because people thought at one moment they were like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it is," but
Yeah.
it's.
Although,
close
I
we
mean,
got to it.
I suppose it could just be that he ends up gaining his own sentience at some point and becoming the Valiard and the just terminology, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
It makes no
No.
sense.
Yeah, because what's evil to some may not be to others. Like, for example, when they're like, okay,
Sometimes
the
it looks
Doctor
like
is
evil,
the
but
destroyer.
it's just hungry.
Then when they're like, oh, it's the destroyer and
What's
blah blah
normal
yada
for
yada.
the spider is chaos.
Chaos
for
for
the
the
fly.
fly. That's right. So
Morticia Adams.
So
I
it could
love
be,
the
and that
Adamses
could be
so
the case
much.
when they say the Valiard. I mean, it could just be, okay, he understands exactly what's happening. Like, they considered him something almost as close to evil, the Valiard, when he was talking about the hybrid. Because he happened to know and no one else knew. Only because he had the knowledge, all of a sudden, he's dangerous.
Also,
So-
speaking of the hybrid, I really wish we could have seen more of Lady Me, because I enjoyed Lady
yeah.
Me.
Oh, man.
I know some people
So
had
good,
some issues
so
with her,
good.
and I did find that from one episode to the other, her character was written either better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Her acting was always top notch, so I mean, well done, Arya. But I especially would have loved to see more of her in the second time we see her, the woman who lived.
Yeah.
When she's the nightmare,
No.
and she's actively kind of tragically noticing that she's noticing the limitations and how horrible it is to be immortal. And I would have loved to see more of that quality Lady Me.
Here's a question before we go.
'Kay.
Who is your favorite combatant of the Doctor?
Oh.
Because I don't say villain because not everybody's a villain. Who's your favorite combatant of the Doctor? Is it Master? If it is Master, is it Missy?
I
or is it the
have
Master?
to say
Is it-
Missy
is it
because
not-
she's
like, who?
just so wonderfully delicious.
really
I mean,
I only
she's
mean from
just
2005 to now. So yeah. go ahead.
no, Missy, hands down is absolutely my favorite. Just her outfit, her bananas. Like, she's just so fabulously, like, I normally don't like evil characters, but her I love because I'm like, I want to be friends with you. You're awful. In the best way.
You want to go have tea with her under the shade of an airplane?
I do.
Oh,
I really do.
Right? And for you?
Oh, that's a really hard question. That's
is.
almost
I
as hard
didn't
as
have an
asking the
answer.
favorite companion.
Yeah,
I
I
have
didn't
to
have an
say
answer.
that
I just wanted to pitch it out. I'm sorry.
for combatants that
And for you
aren't
guys also.
actually evil, for the ones who are just hungry, as the Doctor says, just doing what they do, just as a species, I find those very interesting, but I wouldn't say that I would necessarily say they were from some of my favorite combatants. They create some of my favorite stories, but not necessarily favorite combatants. I would say that the Master, in whatever
I'll tell you,
form-
Charles. I'll hit you up on the comments. Trust me, I have something for you.
He's got you.
Okay?
Don't worry.
I've got you. Don't worry.
I don't know what they're talking
He's
about.
asking me where can he watch Eccleston and other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Doctor Who. I'll give you a site.
But yeah, no, so I think the Master makes the most sense because the Master is, yes, the Time Lords are very much like humans while at the same time not being humans, and they're the same as the Doctor, and the Master is closest to him in more ways than one. So it makes sense to say the Master, but because I like the fact that Doctor Who regularly explores the fact that humanity is kind of its own greatest villain, and in that case, episodes like with Torchwood, where you've got the cannibals, stuff like that, the episodes where humanity is their own greatest villain are some of my favorites as a concept. But I have to say, when the Doctor ends up being his own personal villain, that's when it gets good. Like, I mean,
Example?
obviously it's always good,
No, example.
but like, okay, Family of Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Bravo.
The Doctor, thank you.
Go ahead.
The Doctor is John Smith, and he's pretended to be John Smith before, but in this case, he is John Smith. And he doesn't even realize he's the Doctor. And it's only off the word of Martha that he has to basically give up his own existence for this person that he supposedly is but has never met before. And the version of himself that he thinks of, the version of himself that he actually gets to basically see the future for, will never truly exist. And that ethical dilemma for him of his own potential versus the universe. I think ethics are my favorite Doctor's combatant. Yeah,
I like that.
Ethics and himself.
For me, I'm gonna go with River Song through the way of the silence. Just
all of the silence, because when we first meet the silence, awesome. By the time that we're done with the silence, it's like, do you even have a purpose?
Well, no, but that whole portion where it's like, good man goes to war, all those
Good Man
things,
Goes to War was fantastic.
all of that whole ideal, because it was just all around circling, trying to make sure that River was the weapon in the end. So it's weird to say, but I guess River through the silence.
But
and I would love it if we got some more, a little bit of more FBI work after the Impossible Astronaut. I'd like to see where that storyline goes.
I would be interested.
Isn't that a great tattoo idea, though? Demons run when a good man goes to war.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh,
in Gallifreyan.
I have a phrase that I used to tell people, like, demons run when a good man goes to war, so strap on your cross trainers, because something like, I'm not playing no more.
Sand shoes.
It's really good.
Strap on your sand shoes.
You get it, saying everyone else run. But that would be my suggestion. That's my answer. Hopefully you guys will be able to answer, and you can answer that question in the comments, of course.
That's a good question. That was a hard question.
Episode, yeah. Who is your favorite combatant of the Doctor?
I'm happy with my answer.
Let us know. It can be a monster. It can be anything. Just let us know who, and also let us know why.
It could be a philosophical concept.
There you go. There you go. It can be anything, and there is no wrong answer because it's your answer, and that's the great thing about it.
Sorry. Hey, Missy.
All right, so with that, I want to say thank you guys for watching. It's been great being able to discuss Doctor Who with you. We went over on time, but it was because we just like to talk about Doctor Who. And when you get in a connection with a bunch of Whovians, what else happens? But you're going to talk about Doctor Who.
It happens.
So it makes sense. Once again, ladies, where can we find you? Also,
hold on. Before we do that, we've got Weird Con, guys. It's down in Costa Mesa.
Yes, that's right.
It's May 11th through the 14th at the Hilton. It's going to be friggin' awesome.
Yeah, if you are in California and you happen to be able to go, trust me, go. There's Gallifrey, then there's Weird Con. Trust me, if you are a Whovian, it's a place to go. You're going to feel like home. It's going to be amazing for you. And if you happen to just be a straight out sci-fi fan, fantasy fan, it's the place to be. It's like Comic-Con as far as some of the things you can get, the people you'll be able to speak to, and actually just the experience. But it has a home feel, just like Gallifrey, where everyone they're able to be approached. You're able to speak to people, stars, people that you want to talk to, want to shake hands with. You'll be able to do that there. So definitely check out Weird Con.
Do the thing, guys.
Is it May 11th through the 14th?
May 11th through the 14th.
Boom! May 11th to the 14th. So definitely check it out. And I know you're not watching right now, but maybe you'll watch later.
But do note that weird is not
Shout out
spelled.
to you, Tattoo Trooper, man.
It's not spelled regularly.
It's spelled like faded.
It's spelled like WYRD con.
That's right. You can check it out. Just go online and you can get your tickets.
Like some
they're
fun
inexpensive.
Norse stuff.
Boom! And they're inexpensive.
I'm
You'll
assuming
love
that's
it.
why they did it. Otherwise,
Well,
kudos to them.
There's a little bit of it. A little bit.
Never been.
So you'll love it.
But
Trust
I
me.
enjoy
You guys
mythology.
will go insane over it. Now, where can people find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram at tinker_Bree with 1 E.
You can find me.
You still don't have a thing.
No, it's Cindy and Luna, and I haven't used it in a really long time. But check it out. I'm gonna do something right now.
Cynthia, you had one job.
I know. I know. No, I wrote an article. I did this.
Yes, you did write an article. That's correct.
I'm gonna tweet right now. It's been way too long.
I'm gonna tweet right now.
Hey, let it happen. Let it
happen. Should I put like hashtag show? What?
Yeah, sure.
Hashtag. There's an H in hashtag.
Yeah. So she's tweeting right now.
Right now.
You guys can go ahead and follow her. Respond to that
Do the
tweet.
thing.
And Charles Wright, if you happen to be available, you can follow her and respond to that tweet. And if I see that you did, I'll go ahead and share something with you.
Oh.
It's a website. It's a website, my friend.
I wrote, I am tweeting hashtag show.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, now it exists. Sorry, I
now.
suck at social media things.
There you go. See? And for myself, I'm sorry. You can find me at @therealj_Rome. Find me anywhere on any bit of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want. Find me there, and that's how you'll be able to find me. I'm here on that hashtag show. I do a few other shows. Let's not do shameless plugs. Just check out that hashtag show. Subscribe to this channel. You'll be able to see what I do and what these ladies do as well as we expand. That's what we're here for, to make sure that we can cover everything trending in geek pop culture for you guys, okay? So make sure to do so. Share this video with your friends, because you guys can be the cool kid at the water fountain or the cool person at work at the water cooler. You know stuff before anybody else does, and now you get to share it with them. So do that.
Because kids have fountains, but adults have coolers?
Yes.
I
Okay,
can say it works,
cool.
right?
Yeah, sure.
I
Just notice the difference, and I want comments
yeah.
on it.
Yeah, you know, they're like, yeah, fountains, who cares? But adults, here's a cooler for you.
Yeah.
Because it's cooler.
I was just gonna say it. I was like, because.
Are you saying I'm a fountain of puns?
Oh my god. And I think with that we're done, right?
Don't you mean water you doing?
Oh my god, no!
Oh my
okay,
god,
that's it.
stop her, please.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
We're
not
out.
clapping. That's
We're
it. So
out.
once again, thank you guys for watching. Bye from Gallifrey.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next week.
Hi.